Dolphins fans, welcome into Dolphins Today. I am Will Scott, talking about some Dolphins news and rumors on the show ahead of Sunday's showdown with the Buffalo Bills. A lot to talk about with the Dolphins. We learned some injury news today. We're going to hit on that in a second. But first, guys, we're so close to hitting a huge milestone here on Dolphins Today. Help us get to 30,000 subscribers. We need 28 more. I think we can do it by the end of the day today. Go down, subscribe to the channel, help us get to 30,000 subscribers. If you're a Dolphins fan, this is the right place for you. We're all about Dolphins news, Dolphins rumors, and we try to keep it we try to have a lot of fun here on Dolphins Day. Go down, subscribe to the channel. So let's talk about this injury news first, because as kind of similar to last week, there's a lot of guys on the injury report. Not a surprise, but the most notable name on the injury report, Xavien Howard. He was a surprise on the injury report yesterday when it came out. Listed on the injury report with a groin injury, did not participate in practice on Wednesday. However, he did return to practice today. So that's good news for the Dolphins, and we'll continue to monitor X's status ahead of Sunday's game against the Buffalo Bills. But with there being a lack of depth in the secondary for the Dolphins, with Byron Jones out, you got to hope that X is good to go on Sunday. And based on what we heard today, I think he will be. So X and Nick, those are the two guys right now that are going to be your top corners. Caterco, who's been fantastic. Keon Croston's kind of struggled a little bit. And then you have Noah Igbenogany and Justin Bethel as well. Jones, because he was not activated from the PUP list at the start of the season, he is not eligible to join the team until Week 5, so he's still going to be out the next couple of games. This coming from Barry Jackson earlier today. X is back at practice for the Fins. That was the tweet. Best news of the day. X back at practice after missing practice yesterday, so that's a good sign. He should be on track to play on Sunday. Cameron Wolf reported this. Dolphins DB coach Sam Madison says he's not worried about corner Xavien Howard not playing Sunday against the Bills. Howard did not practice Wednesday, listed with a groin injury. Madison joked guys get vet rest days more than he did in his playing days. So Sam Madison chiming in, saying that X is probably going to play on Sunday and that he's not worried and that we should not be worried. Guys, if you want Xavien Howard to play on Sunday, go down in the comments section. Spam X. I want to see X spammed in the comments section. Let's show our love for Xavien Howard. We need him out on the football field on Sunday. You're going up against one of the best wide receivers in all of football in Stephon Diggs. You need X out there defending him. Spam X down in the comments section. Talking about Terron Armstead now. You need this guy back too, but he sat out of practice the last couple of days with a toe injury. Not a huge surprise because it's the same situation he had last week. He was a little bit banged up after the season opener, did not practice last week, was limited his last day of practice on Friday, and then luckily he appeared in the game against the Ravens and played very, very well in that game. This is why you paid him, what was it, $75 million, that massive deal? This is why you paid him. In Week 1 against the Pats, he had an 81.3 PFF pass blocking grade. And then last week, an 80.6 pass blocking grade. This is Tua's guy, right? Tua's bodyguard, as Terron said in his introductory press conference, that Tua was going to be protected this year, and the offensive line certainly has been a lot better, mainly in part due to Terron Armstead as the starting left tackle on this football team. So I'm not concerned about Terron's status for Sunday, but still something to monitor. I think he's going to go out there and toughen it out, much like he did against Baltimore. Guys, you can go bet on the Fins against the Ravens at chatsports.com/bet and use Dolphins125 as the promo code. If you do that, you're going to get a 125% deposit bonus. Again, that promo code Dolphins125. And if you go to chatsports.com/bet and use promo code Dolphins125, sign up and deposit at least $100. That's important. Then you're going to get your deposit bonus. Make your first bet. Send a screenshot of the bet slip to jersey@chatsports.com. If you do that, you're going to get a free jersey. Email that. Email the screenshot. Email your account number to jersey@chatsports.com. You're going to get to pick from a Tua Tagovailoa jersey or a Tyreek Hill jersey? Let us know the size, the color, what you want, and we're going to get you guys a free jersey. There's a pile of jerseys on my desk. We're shipping these out. A lot of y'all have taken advantage. It's the best deal in the history of deals. Go and take advantage. I'm not sure how long this deal is going to last. Jersey@chatsports.com. Email your bet slip, your account number, and the jersey you want, the size, all that information to jersey@chatsports.com. More details there. Let's get into some Dolphins trade targets now. Bleacher Report wrote an article outlining 3 Dolphins potential trade targets. We haven't talked about trade rumors in a little while, so I saw this article. I'm like, let's talk about it because this article is definitely gaining some traction on Bleacher Report. One of the trade targets they mentioned is a guy the Dolphins just played, Geno Stone, a safety from the Baltimore Ravens. Bleacher Report saying that he would be a fit on the Miami Dolphins and that he might be on the trade block. Baltimore might look to ship him at the right price. Here is what Bleacher Report said. Geno Stone played 11% of Baltimore's defensive snaps in the Week 2 loss to the Dolphins. Stone is stuck behind Chuck Clark, Marcus Williams, and rookie Kyle Hamilton at safety, and he would need a change of scenery to play a bit more. Miami is not looking for a starter, but it could use a back-end depth behind Byron Jones and Xavien Howard at safety. So Bleacher Report bringing up the possibility of Geno Stone being traded to the Dolphins. I'm going to be honest, I don't really think safety is a huge need on this football team right now. I feel really good about the starting safeties, not to mention you have Verone McKinley on the practice squad, who you've already elevated once to the practice squad. He can be elevated 2 more times, and then you'd have to make the decision to sign him to the active roster. But I don't really think safety is something the Dolphins need to be concerning themselves in a trade right now. I'm not saying Stone isn't a good player. I think he's a decent option if you do want to trade for a safety, but I don't think I would do it unless you have an injury or something in the secondary. K'Von Wallace is another name they mentioned as a potential trade target. So Bleacher Report apparently really thinks that the Dolphins need to trade for a safety, at least a backup safety. K'Von Wallace playing with the Philadelphia Eagles right now. Here's what Bleacher Report said about that possibility. K'Von Wallace has not played many defensive snaps for the Philadelphia Eagles. He was on the field for less than 10% of defensive plays in the first 2 weeks. Miami could look to the current special teams player as an addition to its safety depth that it could come to it at a cheap price. The Dolphins have Eric Rowe and Elijah Campbell listed as their backup safeties. Campbell primarily played corner in college. The Dolphins could turn to someone that has played safety for 3 NFL seasons. A potential trade for Wallace would not be earth-shattering, but it could be done to shore up secondary depth with the AFC East title in mind. That feels good to say, AFC East title in mind. That's definitely the Dolphins' goal right now. Taking a look here at the current safety situation, Clayton Fagellum is on IR. That's why he's not on this list, but you do have Byron Jones, Xavien Howard, Eric Rowe, Elijah Campbell as your 4 safeties right now. Campbell, we haven't seen a whole lot of him, at least outside of special teams, but he did play very well in the preseason. And I really like Verone McKinley. I thought McKinley should have made the 53-man over Fagellum, and then, of course, Fagellum was placed on IR a couple days after the 53-man roster cuts. We did see Verone McKinley in Week 1 against New England. We did not see him last week. He can be elevated 2 more times from the practice squad. But I'm seeing a lot of you on the comments right now saying, safety's not really a huge need. I would have to agree. I don't think trading for a safety, unless there's an injury, makes a lot of sense right now. The Bleacher Report saying that Geno Stone and K'Von Wallace are 2 of the top 3 potential trade targets for the Dolphins. And I do believe the Dolphins are going to make a trade here in the coming weeks. Maybe not right now. I mean, they're 2-0. The football team can't get much better in terms of their roster than they currently are. But those 2 were not the number 1 trade target. The number 1 trade target, the Bleacher Report said, drum roll please, Deion Jones. Really big name here. Bleacher Report saying that the Dolphins should trade for Deion Jones, a linebacker with the Atlanta Falcons, one of the best linebackers, at least in terms of talent and upside, in the entire NFC. Here is what Bleacher Report said about that possibility. Jones's coverage skills could intrigue the Dolphins if they have a spot at either linebacker or safety. He had at least 6 passes defended in 5 of his 6 seasons, and he owns 11 career interceptions. A trade with the Falcons may not work out, but the Dolphins could at least inquire about Jones in an attempt to add another strong player at linebacker that would make life hard on opposing passing attacks. So BR saying that Deion Jones should be the number one trade target. I don't agree with Stone and Wallace. I do agree with Jones. I think Jones would be a lot of fun, and I understand there's some depth at linebacker. Linebacker's not as big of a need as it once was, but to add a player like Jones would do a lot for this football team. He might be a little bit better than Trey Flowers, honestly. Here is what the linebacker situation looks like right now. Phillips, Baker, Roberts, Ingram. Those are your starting linebackers. A lot of y'all have been disappointed by JP and Jerome Baker. JP's going to turn around. I hope Jerome Baker does as well. Then you have Trey Flowers, Duke Riley, Channing Tindall, Sam Aguavin, AVG, all on this football team. So trading for a linebacker might make a little bit of sense. Who do you want to trade for? Out of these three that Bleacher Report mentioned, do you want to trade for Geno Stone, type GS, K'Von Wallace, type KW, or Deion Jones, type DJ? Down in the comment section, I expect to see a lot of people typing DJ down in the chat. Not to mention he restructured his contract recently, which makes him a more attractive trade candidate. Appreciate all you guys tuning in to this edition of Dolphins Day. Go down, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.